Welcome to the program today. And in today's program, we're going to begin a series on decision making. Because it's very critical for us to know how to make decisions. And I think this is very critical for the body of Christ as even Christians. How do we make decisions? Do we make it in light of the understanding of God? Because whatever decision you're making, it's not just affecting only you. It's affecting those close to you. It's affecting your family. It's affecting your kids. It's affecting your spouse, your parents, your sisters. Your decisions are not in a vacuum. They always affect more than just you. It affects others too who are close to you. And we're faced with decisions every day. We're going to make either a right decision or a bad decision. And not to make a decision at all is still making a decision. There's nothing like saying I'm neutral. So it's very critical that in this series we'll be looking at what does it mean to make decisions? What does it mean to make good decisions? What is it also when you make bad decisions? And how do you recover from it? And in this first message, which we did in church some time ago, we're going to look at the lessons we learn from the Bible as people make decisions. Because the Bible tells us very clearly that it shows us how God dealt with man. And how did we deal with, and in dealing with man, how do men make decisions? In real life, you're going to be someone who makes good decisions because you have learned, through wisdom. The other one will be because you have made bad decisions. And from it you have learned. So as a result, you are now able to make better decisions. And you have to realize something, your decisions affect just beyond yourself. And the Bible tells us very clearly that if we seek the Lord and seek wisdom from God, we can be able to make good decisions and the right decisions. And the one thing about decisions that is very important to all of us is this. Your decisions have a time frame, the impact of your decisions. Sometimes your decisions are just a short-term impact. Sometimes it's a little bit longer than just a short-term impact. Sometimes it's a lifetime impact. Even sometimes it could be an eternity impact. That means someone, for example, who decides, well, I'm not going to accept Christ. I don't want Christ. I don't believe in Jesus Christ. That's an eternal decision that once it's made, and when once died, they say upon death, there's no turning back. You're going to appear before the judgment seat of Christ. So your decisions are going to have impact upon your life, upon your loved ones, and those who care about you. So as we begin to go into this series, what are the lessons we learn from the Bible about decision making? This is going to be our first message, our first tape today. Okay? We're going to start with Ecclesiastes chapter 1. We're going to read verse 9 and 10 from the NIV. Please read.
What has been will be again. What has been done will be done again. There is nothing new under the sun. Is there anything of which one can say, look, this is something new? It was here already, long ago. It was here before our time.
You hear that? He said it was here before our time. There's nothing new under the sun. What has been, what is, has already been before. So then if I look at how God dealt with people in their decision making in the Bible, it will give me an insight about how I should make decisions myself. And it's very important. One of the things I want to stress in this series as we go forward is that we need to learn to pause and weigh our decisions, because our decisions have ramifications. And to also show the deadliness of making decisions when your emotions are engaged. Your emotions can help you make a decision, but the consequences later, you wish you did not make it. So we want to have a clear head when we are making decisions, because every decision has a time frame to it. Okay? And the Bible tells us very clearly that even the enemy of our soul, Satan himself, wants us to make bad decisions. We're going to see this when we read in 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 8. We're going to read from the Amplified. Why it's so critical for us to have a clear mind and a clear head when we are making decisions. We're going to hear what is the impact of the enemy. What is the strategy of Satan against us when it comes to our choices and our decision making. So in 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 8 from the Amplified, please read for me.
Be well balanced, temperate, sober of mind. Be vigilant and cautious at all times. For that enemy of yours, the devil, roams around like a lion roaring in fierce hunger, seeking someone to seize upon and devour.
Do you hear that? The Bible tells us. He said we should be sober-minded. He didn't say sometimes. He said at all times. So that means when I'm making my decisions, God expects me, because the word of God is the will of God, the mind of God towards me. He expects me to be sober-minded when it comes to my decision making. Because either way I go, there's going to be consequences, there's going to be ramifications for my decisions. And I have a free will that God is giving me. So it tells me I should be sober-minded in everything that I do. That means I have to weigh my decisions. I have to weigh the choices that I make, because they all have what? Implications. So for me to say, okay, because I'm not going to make no decision, it's still making a decision. There's no neutral place about it. We have to make decisions. Okay? And we have to be aware of our decision making, because they affect not only us, but they affect those who are close to us. Let me say, recently I read a study that was done about successful people and some CEOs of companies. And they tried to find out, how do they make decisions? And they found out that 70% of the times, they made decisions based on their guts, following their gut feeling, following their gut intuition, their conscience. And they found out that without even adding their emotions to it, 70% of the time. And they found out 30% of the time, they sought the advice of people that they could trust, who were capable of speaking into their lives, capable of giving them, some advice. But in it showed clearly that their emotions was not really involved in their decision making. They looked at things very clearly. They looked at it to make sure what they were doing, they had weighed everything. They had weighed the ramifications of their decisions. And then they were comfortable with it, that they could go forward with the decision they're going to make. 70% of the time, they follow their gut feeling. Because that's one thing God is giving to every man. Where you just know, you can't explain it, but you just know. And you weigh everything. After weighing everything, you just know. And you go with your gut. And so 30% of the time, they sought the advices of those who they trusted, who were around them. It's amazing that if we listen to our conscience, we will make good and right decisions. And also, that means that if we listen to our conscience, it's going to be followed by peace. Peace is going to be the umpire by which we make a decision and say, I think this is the right decision. Or no, I think I should not make this decision, because there's something about it that's not settling inside of me. That's why making decisions in your emotions can be very, very deadly. Because you have to have a clear heart, a clear mind, a sober mind when we make decisions. Okay? Because what the Bible tells us about, just going with your gut or following your conscience, following peace. Let peace settle every issue. We see this in Colossians. In Colossians chapter 3, verse 15. We're going to read this from the Amplified. Please read.
And let the peace, soul harmony which comes from Christ's rule, act as umpire continually in your hearts, deciding and settling with finality all questions that arise in your minds, in that peaceful state to which, as members of Christ, one's body, you were also called to live, and be thankful, appreciative, giving praise to God always.
You hear that? Christ said clearly, the word of God declares, through Paul. He said, let this be a pattern of how you settle everything.